Yeah. Sightbox, unbox, while we open the door. New podcast dropping like
Back.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Box Pod.
Yeah,
We made it.
BOXPOD.
BOXPOD. We made it to 2, bro.
Dude, we're on fire.
We're on a roll. We're on a roll. We have somewhat of a agenda, I guess, for this.
Yeah, we have a focus for
this
today. We
podcast.
really do.
We do.
But we have a special guest.
What did you ask me 10 seconds ago before we hit record?
I said check your ChatGPT app.
And I'll admit I haven't opened it in a minute.
Okay.
So I just opened it, and then a little notification was flashing around the little icon,
the microphone.
the microphone on the
Yep.
bottom right.
Mm-hmm.
And now my phone says, "Say hello to advanced voice mode."
Yes.
Right there, folks. Right
Wow.
there, folks. Right there.
Okay.
So what does this mean? I'm gonna hit continue.
Yeah, hit continue.
I've got a really great feeling about us teaming up. How can I jump in and help?
All right. So
So first of all, I have Juniper on, but
yeah, see if you can change her voice.
Hello, it's lovely to meet you. If there's anything you need,
No.
please don't hesitate to let me know.
I don't want to talk to
Hey,
that.
it's great to meet you. How's your day going?
No,
I'm really looking forward to working on some cool stuff together.
that's the guy from Office Space, the flare.
Yes, dude. Totally is. Yeah.
He's like, hey guys.
Hey.
Yeah, you don't want to talk to that guy.
Hi there. I just want to share how thrilled I am to work with you, and I can't wait to get started.
I mean,
So what's the game plan? Hey, I'm ready to hit the ground running. So if there's anything you'd like me to focus on first, just let me know.
I don't mind Ember.
Hey, what's up? Feel free to ask me about anything that's on your mind. I'm ready to go.
Okay. Let's just go with it.
That's not bad.
So it's supposed to be more conversational.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. And it should hear inflections in your voice.
Inflections. I'm actually recording a podcast. I'm in the middle of it right now. I want you to listen and give me feedback on how you think it's going.
I can't listen to audio directly, but I can definitely help by reviewing a transcript or any part of the content you're working on.
Here, give it to me.
If you share some of your script or outline, I can give feedback on flow, structure, or tone.
All right. We're gonna keep
Nathan's not
playing.
happy with that result there.
I'm not.
But if you haven't played around with ChatGPT on your mobile phone, I mean, you should have that downloaded immediately,
Yes.
especially with this new update. And you can basically talk to it like a human and ask it anything. You definitely want to replace Siri. No one should be using Siri. Siri is like dumb. And so I think with the new iPhone 16 too, I know they've got their own Apple Intelligence, but isn't it powered by ChatGPT? It's supposed to be.
Yeah, there's parts of it. So it'll basically,
But you can
Siri
replace
will
the Siri
ans-
function.
yeah, Siri will answer questions to a degree,
Right.
and then it will go, then it'll go further. Bro, now it's telling you this.
It's not ready?
Hold on.
Put it up to the mic if it talks back. Let's just move on.
Oh, here we go.
You got something?
Hey, chat, how's it going? We're doing a podcast. Say hello.
Hey there. Glad to be part of your podcast. Hope everything's going well with your recording. What's the topic you're diving into today?
Actually, we're talking about our stack that we have at our agency, the different programs and stuff we use.
That sounds awesome. What are some of the key programs or tools you use in your agency's stack?
Well, we're about to get into that, so hang tight. There we go.
Got it. I'll be here when you're ready to dive into the details. Looking forward to hearing.
Hey, not bad.
Okay, there she
Okay,
is.
so that's a conversational.
Yes, and the
AI right
idea,
there.
the big difference on
Yeah.
this one is that it's hearing your voice,
Yeah.
not just the transcript. So when it said it can't hear us, it can only read the transcript.
Right.
That's when I knew it was not for
Oh,
whatever
I
reason.
see, I
Was
see, I see, yeah.
because the old one would just do text to speech and then send
Sure.
the text. but now it's hearing what you're saying.
Right.
So
the tone and everything.
your tone, right? So if
Yeah.
you're talking soft or slow, it'll match that, or it'll sort of interpret that. So it sort of makes the conversation a bit more natural.
Sure.
And from what I understand too, like, you know, when you have natural pauses or you self-correct, you're like, oh, wait, what I meant was, you know, whatever. It understands that better and can wait until there's a natural pause or a natural end to a conversation. So that's just some of the things that they're talking about that it's doing.
Interesting.
So
Yeah. It's going to be fun to play around with that. for
yes.
sure.
And it's been, I mean, when did this come out? It was announced like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And so they've been talking about it. And then finally, I think Monday or Tuesday, OpenAI said, okay, every paid subscriber will get this upgrade this week. So it was just a matter of
Very
time
cool.
and it happened literally.
Yeah.
Right
I'm going to
before
put
they
a shortcut on my phone. Like, you know how they have these tap the back or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To kind of launch it. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you're driving, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe this is something you've done, right? Where you have a 40-minute drive home.
Yeah, I'm stuck in
and you're
traffic.
just like, rather than listen to a podcast or music, I'm just going to talk to ChatGPT.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, you know, we're talking about car repairs and stuff earlier.
Right.
Or whatever. You can just have a conversation. Just ask all the dumb questions. And it'll just sit there and answer all of it.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting way to sort of get caught up on something.
Sure.
That otherwise, you know,
Totally.
you wouldn't, you know. So
Yeah.
anyway, kind of fun stuff for today.
Yeah, it's
That's
just a glimpse into the future.
Yes.
And actually, I'll pull this up. Did you see what Elon posted on Twitter?
No.
On X, I'm sorry.
What hasn't he posted on X? That's the.
Oh, this has to do with AI.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to I have to scroll past all the trolling to get to it.
Jeez.
But you know what? It was Tesla. Hold on. 1 second here. I'll pull it up. There it is. Look at that.
Oh, We Robot.
We Robot. 1010. There's another graphic that says 1010 on it.
Okay.
So October 10th, something's coming.
Well, it's this big
But
reveal.
it's this
for
humanoid thing, right?
The taxi thing, isn't it?
Oh,
I think that's.
I don't know
what
why
that
I
is.
was thinking it was the robots,
Oh, wow.
but that makes more sense. The RoboTaxi,
The RoboTaxi.
because they've been talking about that for the fall and
Yes.
kept pushing it out.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in August, and then.
Right, and now that they have the ASS enabled,
What is that again? Tell us what it
the
is.
autonomous or no, what is it? Automated. Hold on, I'll get it. Tesla ASS. There it is. Actually smart summon.
Actually, smart.
Turn
Son.
that off.
You're gonna make it do it again.
Amateurs here. So it's actual smart summon. Actually, I've got a buddy who's got a Model Y with FSD in Austin, and he's been sending me videos of him just clicking the button and the car pulling out of the driveway, out of a parking spot automatically. But I think the future of this it's kind of what he's been saying for years, which is, you know, you're going to go to a busy Costco, you're going to get off in the front, and the car's going to go find a parking spot on its own. And when you're ready to be picked up, you're just going to hit summon, and it's just going to come get you. Or at the mall, you know, it's needed to come scoop me up. I don't care where it parks. Just come get me when I'm ready.
Yeah, like valet.
So yeah, exactly. And so that is working now, essentially, I think. But that We Robot thing is interesting because we've been talking about RoboTaxi too for years,
Yeah.
right? And so this might disrupt the whole rideshare economy, really, right?
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen to all those gig drivers when drivers are no longer needed? You can get a Tesla to pick you up for $8 instead of $16, and not have to worry about some creepy dude rolling up, you know, and
Some 3-star
some 3-star driver. You know, we've had some shady
Yeah.
experiences on Ubers, right?
Right.
Every time we travel. And now, you know, and people say, well, I don't trust those things. Well, you trust these random people that just show up, you know, in their Camrys to pick you up. I've been in near accidents multiple times riding Uber.
Yeah.
Like, I would trust an FSD Tesla over one of these humans any day.
Sure. I've gotten
So-
car sick and all
Yeah,
that stuff, right? Because it
100%.
just drives crazy.
Totally.
Well, we took a Waymo in San
We
Francisco.
did take a Waymo.
And we actually got stuck. We actually got into
That's right.
a situation where there's a car accident in front of us, didn't involve us.
That's right.
And we pushed a button for customer service, and literally somebody took control of the car.
Yeah.
We're talking to us, saying, all right, we're going to take a look at what's going on. And they said, okay, it looks like there's an accident in front of you, whatever, hang tight.
Yep.
And then they said, and then they just took control.
Remote assist.
Yeah. And all of a sudden the wheel goes reverse, and then, you know,
Yeah, but I have a
signals and goes
theory
around.
about this.
Don't say it. Don't say it. What is it? It's all in India?
Yeah, there's a call center.
Oh no,
these
dude.
guys
Just
are
like
sitting-
Amazon, like
Yeah, like they
Amazon
got
Fresh?
Amazon Fresh got busted, right?
oh no,
Yeah,
yes.
we're not making this so you can
Yes.
search this. Amazon Fresh, that you're gonna put stuff. You're gonna walk in, grab whatever stuff you need, and walk out.
Walk out.
And we'll charge your account, right? All using AI and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm,
No, there was people remote watching you.
Yes, stalking you.
Yep, and then doing the transactions manually.
Yeah.
And I think it was in India or whatever,
Yeah.
call center.
Yeah.
So now this is the same thing. This is like an episode of Silicon Valley, right?
Yes.
Except these guys are sitting with the wheel like Gran Torino, sitting there. They're like, "Oh, just got a new ride,"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
you know. And if you need anything, just press the button, and then how can I help you?
Oh,
I'm
dude.
stuck behind a car accident. Yeah, let me get you out of that jam 1 second.
Yeah.
And then the car, real slow.
So we said that there was a they were using AI. They were just using
Yeah, no. Too far.
No?
No. Yeah, that might.
Okay.
I know where you're going with it.
All right.
Maybe we hold that one.
All right.
All right. That was the AI. We should do that. AI. The top of the podcast is our AI little
AI
brief.
minute. Yeah.
Minute, whatever.
All right.
Okay. We launched this whole thing around AI, kind of, but also we talked about our AI stack for creating commercial videos, and we threw it up on episode 1 on all the streaming platforms. We put it on YouTube, and actually, it's been a great tool just to have, because we've been getting a lot of requests and questions from people we know. They say, how did you do that? What tools did you use? Mm-hmm. So now we've been able to send the episode and say, here's a breakdown of how we did it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how little people still know. They think, that you put in a prompt maybe, and the whole thing just came out.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's a combination of many tools, and you have to get creative of how you use them and how they sort of intertwine with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so we thought, well, how many startups have we worked with that have started from zero? Quite a bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since we've been doing this. And so we thought, well, what are some quick kind of, tools we can put out there? Some of them we use, some of them we've used, obviously, that can help someone who's just now in that sort of ideation phase, right? Mm-hmm. We call that idea phase. This is way before you've got an MVP, or maybe you're working on an MVP, but you're like, I need to take this idea and actually become a company, right? I need to form it. I need to eventually raise money, all those things. And I know there's resources, a million of them out there for startup founders. And so I want to I don't want to go too deep into that, but I also want to talk about if you're just a small business owner, because there's plenty of those that they're not a startup. They're not a SaaS business or anything like that, but they don't have no idea, even the beginning of how do I track time? How do I bill an invoice? How do I,
How do you run
just
it?
very simple things. How do I communicate with, with employees or partners,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. And some of this stuff is, we take it for granted now, but it's interesting because we do work with a lot of clients, and then we'll realize that they don't have this, or they're not using some of this stuff, and it becomes pretty clear.
Yeah.
Like, and we kind of show them the way.
Yeah, absolutely. So why don't we kick it off with number one? So this is the first one. Believe it or not, Stripe, who is, Clutch. These guys have been around a long time. And they were really technical for a long time, meaning they were heavily used by developers and people that were more tech focused, had to know how to use Stripe. And then it started slowly going more sort of consumer, more
front end
user friendly, to the point where now people can launch subscriptions using Stripe. People can do all kinds of things with Stripe. And one of the things that people do not know about Stripe is that they have a product called Atlas. And I'll pull it up here. You'll see here right on the homepage of Atlas, incorporate your startup. And the cool thing about Atlas is that especially if you're a startup, Atlas will go through and do all the formation for you. So it'll create the Delaware Corp for you. It'll give you the EIN number. And then it'll help you with your, for example, for stock formation, like setting all that up, issuing shares. They guide you through all that process. And it takes, honestly, days. It takes days to do, and I think it's $500. And so imagine trying to figure all that out and sort it out on your own. And in full disclosure, we used Atlas a couple of years ago when we launched Staccato, our SaaS tool. And it was the most painless thing we could have done.
And we had done it before with a law firm.
Tap That App.
On Tap That App.
Yeah.
We hired a law firm.
That's true, yeah.
To do that. And
it was $2,500, and that was the discounted.
That was the homie rate. And that was just incorporation. Then we had to issue stock and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And that doubled it.
Totally.
And so this is pretty revolutionary.
Yeah, and it's good to see that, that it's still going strong here. And so I won't log into ours, obviously. But once it's all set up, it's tied to your Stripe account. And so whether or not you use Stripe, it doesn't matter to them, but it's there. And so you can actually use it to bill clients. You can add customers using Stripe. You can create subscriptions, like I said. And it's got all kinds of stuff. There's even a tab for capital. And so imagine you're taking subscriptions through Stripe for your SaaS product, and it starts to learn how much revenue is coming in. Let's say you're doing 10,000 a month in subscriptions, but you need some cash flow. Stripe can be sort of a means to come in and, say you don't want to raise money. Right now you're trying to bootstrap. Stripe might say, hey, you qualify for 20,000 in capital through Stripe as a, business. And what they'll do is they'll fund you the 20K, and then they'll take the percentage of the payment out of your transactions. And so that 10,000 a month that's coming in, as it's coming in, they'll say, okay, we're going to keep whatever it is, 30%. And so you're borrowing from your cash flow in a sense.
Yeah.
And there's a fee associated to it, but it's the most, it's the easiest way to get quick capital, especially if you know that they know and the money's going to be coming in.
Yeah.
And so, you can have access to a quick 20 versus like, man, I got to go bring in some angel investment and give up 10% of my business, right?
Yeah.
Early on, and you don't want to do that. And so it's pretty cool. Like I said, we've done it. We did use AngelList for another startup. They used to have a product called Stack, AngelList Stack. And it looks now, if you look here, it's now AngelList plus Stripe plus Atlas. So it looks like they're collaborating on this now. So what does this tell us? That Atlas is superior
Yeah.
platform or product to do this. So cool to see that. Tell us about, let's kind of move into number 2, which is time tracking.
Time tracking. Yes.
It's a huge thing right in our world.
Yeah. For us, it's sort of a thing. And this goes to any agency.
Yeah.
We've worked at different shops where, it's some homegrown thing. I've worked on homegrown HTML built things, Lotus stuff that's just antiquated. I remember one of my last ones, I had to run a Windows terminal
Ooh.
to log my time because the software was so old it wouldn't run on a Mac. So anyway, we've come a long way.
Yeah.
Luckily, we currently use Harvest to do all of our time tracking, and some of our invoicing and estimating. So we actually use it quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's got some great features in it. One of the things that we like is that you can basically set up everyone's account and easily sort of use these timers. There was a feature that we really, really liked, which was it had an integration with Asana, which made it super easy because then you could just go into the project in Asana and then hit the timer.
Right on the task.
Right on the task.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they've sort of dropped that functionality. But still a very valuable tool. And this gives us a lot of transparency into sort of what's going on with projects and clients and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, and it's super cool for us when we have, because we do retainers and project work, and Harvest does let you set them up either way.
Right.
And so in the cases where we have a retainer, we just set a budget for the month, and then we assign the people on the project in Harvest, and so they start to time track against the work they're doing on that retainer, and then it depletes the budget. And then it gives us alerts like, hey, you're 80%.
Yeah.
Right. You're at 80%. There's 20% left. We can alert the client, hey, you're running low. And then it'll reset the next month. And so it's a really cool way to sort of keep track of that. And then on projects, you just set a flat rate.
Yeah.
Right. It's $50K, whatever it is. Here's everyone who's working on it. Here's our rate.
Yeah.
Right. Or agency rate.
Agency rate or contractor rate or employee rate.
Right. And
whatever
then
that
here's
is.
the cost associated to each person and job that's being done. And so it gives us a kind of a really nice picture of how the project is going from a budget standpoint. Kind of helps us keep an eye on things too.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes you can feel it, right? Man, this project is lingering. We feel like it's feeling like we're losing here.
Yeah.
Right? And then you go into Harvest and you start to see, okay, yeah, we're going in the red a little bit. So let's wrap this up, or we need more money, whatever it is, right? So it's really cool. We got sirens outside.
Keeping it real and
Keeping it real here
Fullerton.
in downtown Fullerton. One of the other big things of Harvest is, like you said, you mentioned estimates, but invoicing and payments.
Yes.
And so we're an agency and we're somewhat established, but if you're just a solo person, this tool works just fine for you as well. You can go in, create an invoice, add the client information, send the invoice digitally, super easy, super fast, and even better, they have Stripe integration. So let's say you've set up your Stripe Atlas account as your startup or your brand new business. You come into Harvest, set up an account, integrate the two. It's like a one button click. Integrate Stripe, knows your Stripe account. So now when you send the invoice, I mean, you'll see it right here, pay $8,500. The customer can put in a credit card or bank account.
Through Stripe.
Right? No, through the Harvest
That's
invoice
right. Yes.
that they receive through their email. Click pay, and then Stripe does all processing on the background.
Right.
You get your money, invoice is marked paid. None of this checks in the mail stuff, right? No excuses. It's all right there. And if you're still, collecting payments through PayPal or whatever, Harvest has integrations for that too. You just put in what payment methods you want to accept and click, you're done. Super, super easy. And then the estimate feature is even easier. You put in the request. This is what the client's asking for, blah, line item, cost, association to it, sends as an email, and then they can accept or reject it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a record now, super easy. They agree to this, $2,500 to do whatever. Boom, big old stamp, accepted.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get to work. And then you can convert that estimate into an invoice with one click. All right, now we got to invoice them the $2,500, sent, click, pay, done. So Harvest does a lot. So I would definitely look into it. It's not the cheapest. If you're a growing team or you have, like us, we've got, 25 people on there or whatever. It can be expensive, but it's somewhere like $8 or $9, right, per seat, something like that. So definitely doable if you're like I said, if you're a solopreneur on your own, super cheap. It'll cost you a, what's Sienna's drink? Matcha, blueberry matcha with oat milk. $8. There it is. No excuses. Then what do we use for communication? This seems to me like this is a no-brainer, a given that everybody does it.
Yeah.
But it shocks me every day when I ask people, are you on Slack? So we can add them to our Slack Connect, and they say no.
No.
And so
Yeah.
I don't quite understand, but tell us why Slack has been such a big, amazing tool for us.
Well, Slack basically created, I think, took chat and made chat cool for business.
Do you remember what we used before Slack?
Yes, Hangouts.
Oh,
Google Hangouts.
gross.
Yeah. Dude.
Hey, gross, says the guys that use Google Meet for all our meetings.
We do.
Yeah.
But
that's out of principle.
Yeah. But yeah, Slack made it super cool. And I still think they're still king in terms of what they do.
Yeah.
It's been interesting though. They were purchased by Salesforce.
Yeah. I mean, it made us a little nervous, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Normally those acquisitions, especially when it's not sort of part of their real business, can sometimes go sideways.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they've been keeping it real. And I think as far as I can tell, it's still number one. But it is interesting. So during the pandemic, Microsoft launched Teams. And because so many people...
Double gross.
Yeah, right? So, and then so many people are already paying for...
That's the key, right?
Microsoft, that they're like, just use Teams. So that's been and I remember seeing there's this graph somewhere. It shows like, Slack doing its thing, like trying really hard, growing really well. And then here comes Teams and just like obliterates it overnight. And they're like, look, we're so great. You're like, no, not really. I mean, as much as I'd like to think that Microsoft is good at that, they're not.
No,
they're not. In fact, I've had issues with Teams. We've got a couple clients that use it, and I have this. Dude, I've had to reset my password.
Oh,
I've had to go in, and for whatever reason, I have this little caution thing in the corner for Sightbox. Mm-hmm. So whenever I go there and try to fix the problem, it just says, try reloading. It just gives me like a nothing screen.
Yeah.
Then I'll go into the admin tools and stuff. There's no warning. There's no problem issue logged there at all. It's just a mess, honestly.
Yeah.
And every time, and there's like 3 versions of it. There's like the web version. There's the desktop, and then there's like the desktop classic.
Oh God.
It's just a mess, dude.
Yeah.
Microsoft doesn't get it.
They don't get it. But I would say Slack Connect really the last couple of years.
Yes.
Is really what.
Is there a free account though? Is there a free Slack?
There is.
Okay.
But I think for Slack Connect,
you have to pay.
You have to pay.
Okay.
And so that's been a little bit of a hurdle for us.
Yeah.
But most of the clients that we work with are on a paid account. So it's been somewhat easy to get them onboarded.
Yeah.
But it was harder before because remember they would just refuse.
Yeah. Dude, remember? So Slack used to be kind of, and I'm sure it's still being used this way, but for a while it was like Discord,
Oh yeah.
right? And so you would have people set up like Slacks, public Slacks. Remember
I'm
that?
still on a few.
You're
of
on a
those.
few of them?
Oh yeah.
And we launched one, dude. Remember?
Which one?
In New York, the Gary V.
Oh shoot.
Unofficial Gary V.
We did.
Slack.
We were getting. Remember, people were jumping in.
Yeah. We created a whole thing.
That was in 2017.
yeah.
when
Must
we
have
went
been
to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we went to VaynerMedia and pitch, what did we do? Why did we do that?
I don't remember, but it was
We were
like
at the-
I
we were
remember
at
we
the
did
hotel,
it
right?
We
We were
did it
just
like
like,
the
let's
hotel
just do it.
lobby or something.
Yeah, we're just like, just do it.
Let's just do it. We put up a
We
page.
I think we had the domain. That's why.
That's what it was.
I think we still have it.
which was what?
GaryV.co. I wonder if it pops
Oh
up.
shoot!
That was when we were like massive Gary V.
Oh dude,
Fanboys,
for
remember
real. Oh shoot!
Oh, it looks like, dude, I bet you we had this tied to Squarespace at one point
Oh, is it not coming up?
because it says
Oh,
expired,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So you have the domain
because
but
you
the
were
hosting.
messing with Squarespace back then,
Yeah,
and I think you just tied it.
yeah. We had the unofficial Gary V.
Yeah, look at that. Hey, so if Gary V, if you're out there and you want GaryV.co,
Yeah,
just hit us up.
yeah. We'll talk.
We'll make something happen, right?
Got any more of those NFTs? Any more of those
Yeah,
NFTs?
give me a couple tickets to VCon and we'll
exactly.
swap here.
Yeah, we'll make a deal.
So, anyways, yeah, Slack Connect. I mean, it's great, but it's funny that you mentioned Discord because it's still, that's probably the only flaw it still has, is that it's still set up like hashtag
Yeah,
channel names, and so you end up with, a million of these,
yeah,
and so it's hard to keep track. And then threading
yeah.
in Slack is a nightmare, and so it works in the moment to get a quick response for something, and then good luck.
Yeah,
After
then it's
that.
buried.
It's completely buried. It's over. And this is where I'll give a shout out here to Glue,
Oh,
right?
dang.
We're fans of the All In podcast. So this is David Sachs's venture here. And they launched Glue. What's the website for Glue? Glue is a Slack. He calls it a Slack killer. And we were on their beta. You remember that?
Yeah, I still have it.
I have it too. I just haven't logged in. So we were going to try getting everyone in there. Remember at one point to try and see if we liked it. See, request access. I actually have access here. Anyways, but one of the nice things about Glue is that it's not channel based the way Slack is. It's conversation based. And so you could set a topic for a discussion, add people or teams or groups to the discussion, and then you can create threads from that point on. And the threads become discussions as well. So you see here threads at the top. And so people really just go through threads because threads are very specific. You're sort of narrowing down into a very specific conversation about a thing. And so you see the whole context there. And so if I need to go back about, like this morning, right, about that pitch deck, we were going back and forth about those last 3 slides this morning. That would have been a thread.
Right.
But
Rather
no,
than
it's in the
long,
master channel now.
Right.
And we've junked it up.
Right. You have to kind of hunt for it now.
And so now you have to hunt for it. Or if you want to go back and, what about that graphic for the homepage 4 days ago? I mean, you'd have to just scroll. And nobody really does that in Slack,
No.
right? It's kind of like, well, that was days ago. It's forgotten. So forget it. But in Glue, it's not like that at all. And so I think, and they have an export, believe it or not, export from Slack to Glue. So you don't lose.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know how that ties in one-to-one,
Right.
but I'm kind of scared to try, to be honest with you. But the other reason why I haven't fully pushed trying to move over is because, like I mentioned, clients,
Yeah.
we already have clients on Slack Connect,
Yeah.
and those clients are already Slack users. So
Yeah. Well, and if I remember correctly, one of the things with Glue, was that you could run it on your own server. Was that the deal too? Is that still the case?
Hey, this is hosted. I believe this is hosted, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is just from listening to the pod.
Yeah.
I think the enterprise version, there's a way to do that, to sort of self-host
Doesn't really say it, but yeah.
But
when they were
don't
talking
quote me
about
on
it,
that.
which I thought was really interesting, and that's just sort of Sax's.
Yeah, because remember they were talking about in Chamath too. They were like, everything went to the cloud,
Yes.
and everybody wanted that because it was cheap.
and easy.
But now it's so expensive,
Right.
right? Even if you're more than 10, 20, 50 people,
Right.
now it's way too much. Now they're like, how do we bring it in-house now?
Right.
Because this is way too much.
Right.
And now there's startups, I think, that are thinking that way. They're like, well, I'm going to build it so you can deploy it
Right.
here on premise
Right.
versus in the cloud because you're going to save way more money.
Right.
And I'm going to charge you for a maintenance fee instead
Right. Versus per seat.
versus per seat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because then you can scale infinitely
Yeah.
at that point.
Right. Well, you're just you're front loading the cost on yourself.
Right. And what would you say right now is their biggest killer? It's probably, it's either Adobe Cloud or Asana.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Asana for what we're getting for it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's because the number of seats that are required.
That's right. That's right.
And we're paying almost $1,000
That's
a
crazy.
month for it. And we're a small agency.
Yeah.
Right. So imagine you're twice our size or 5
Yeah.
times our size.
Yeah.
That's a killer for project management. No way. There's like no way. Right. And so that's a very good example of this model kind of hitting a wall. where
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so I think developers will start to sort of develop new, because if we're paying, let's say, $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. I would rather host it on premise and pay you $2,500 a year for maintenance.
Right.
Or
For the update or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
just keep an eye on my stuff. If I have issues, I'll contact support. But then we can scale it up or down based on people we bring in and out at any time. I think the industry is going to start to sort of flip into that model a little bit more than just seats.
Yeah. Well, dude,
just
I
too
remember
expensive.
we've I hate to admit this. I think on a couple occasions we've rebuilt software. Remember that UCLA donor portal
That's right. That's right.
was sort of that,
Yeah.
right? They were like, we're paying too much money for this software. They did the
Right.
calculations and they said,
And dude, they spent like $100,000 on that.
yes. So imagine what they were paying otherwise
Yeah.
for that to be a deal. Give you an idea, right? So
yeah.
it's not an uncommon thing,
No.
but if the people figured that out, they
Gladly
could,
as well. Remember the Learn portal?
Yes.
We built for them.
yes.
They were probably spending. It had to have been close to 10 G's a month.
Yes.
Absurd amount of money
Absurd.
to have this learning platform on their website.
Right.
And it was third party hosted. They instead had us build one essentially. I mean, we were copying features. Remember, almost 1-to-1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Try and
It
get
wasn't like,
close.
hey, we want anything better. There's literally like, can we
Yeah.
just have this
Yes.
over here?
Yeah, but they would own it.
But they would own it.
Self-hosted, the whole deal,
Yeah.
and not worry about third-party license fee.
Yeah. So to them,
and
it was
it
worth
was
it.
an investment, whatever it was, 50K, whatever. But then, that subscription
Yeah.
was no more.
Yeah. And I remember, and this sort of sent us on a crazy goose chase for a while, because the one we did for UCLA, they told us right afterwards, they're like, you guys should sell this.
And we tried to package it.
And we did.
Remember that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We branded it, and we had a
We
friend of
even
ours.
went and pitched it, didn't we?
Well, we had a friend of ours who was he was like, I want to sell, I want to do something. He was
Right.
like, he's got like the founder itch, and he's like, give me something to sell. And we're like, go sell this. And sure enough, he found some people that were somewhat interested in it. So
Crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Cosmo.
Cosmo, that's right.
Cosmo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, it was.
But the idea was, you could do this donation portal
Yep.
and
Right. How
processing.
many universities are in the world
Yeah,
that accept donations from,
yeah.
from previous, from alumni?
Alumni, yeah, absolutely. They live on that stuff,
Right.
And
But-
they're just getting hosed.
Right. And then apparently UCLA was either using another tool or manually. People were calling, I need
Yeah.
my form,
Yes,
so I know how much I gave you guys. Because they couldn't even, there was nowhere for them to know
yeah,
how much they were contributing. And so now they can just log in. There it is.
There it
I've
is.
donated, download my report for taxes, and we're done.
yeah,
Wow. It's going way back, bro.
yeah. You like that?
All right. So there it is. Stripe, Atlas, Harvest, Slack, specifically because of Slack Connect. I'll say
Yes.
that's the reason we're staying put.
Yeah,
But if you want to do Google search, there's other tools like Bonsai, right, that we use as well.
yeah. And we mentioned Asana. We could probably
Yeah,
do a
we
whole.
mentioned-
We could probably do a whole show on Asana.
Yeah.
We won't,
We
but we could.
What's the Bonsai?
Hello, Bonsai.
Hello, Bonsai.
Yeah, that's
And
a cool.
Bonsai
tool.
is cool because, and again, I mentioned using Harvest for estimates. But if you're a little more, is this right? Hello,
Isn't it?
Bonsai. Sorry, guys.
Oh,
Here it is.
Oh, yeah. Just scroll down.
And again, the one thing about these tools as well is there's going to be overlap. So
There's
you're going to be
lots of
double
overlap.
paying, triple paying for
I know
things
that's
that,
unfortunate, but it's
that
true.
do the same thing. So don't get confused if Harvest does invoices, if Stripe does invoices, if Bonsai uses invoices,
Gusto.
Gusto
Does
does
time
invoices.
tracking.
Right, exactly. Just stick to the tools that you're more comfortable with, and then you start to see your clients
Yeah.
kind of adapt to. And then just create a stack that kind of works for you. I think that's the best rule of thumb. But for Bonsai specifically, when we onboard contractors, we do it through Bonsai versus, again, actually, I'm glad I brought this up. NDAs is another thing that's pretty common, right?
Yeah.
In business, I got to sign my NDA or my contractor agreement. Okay, here's a PDF. I'm gonna download one from the internet, tweak it, and then I'm gonna Adobe send it to you, or DocuSign or Dropbox sign, right? We don't use any of those tools, only because we like to have everything centralized. And so this is where we use Bonsai. And so Bonsai will let us do that, create the contract, and then they actually help you write it as well. And then you can send it and then have people countersign it. And so it's all done through email, similar to Harvest. You're going to get an email. So-and-so wants your signature for an NDA or an independent contractor. Okay, you sign it. But then now on the Bonsai side, us, right, as the account holders, we can go in and see, okay, here, excuse me, here's Zach, right? Oh, there's his NDA. There's his independent contractor agreement. Anything else that requires signature is all under one roof. And you can set it up by company or by person. And it has two modes. So it's like client mode and contractor mode. And so when we go to contractor mode, what do we have? All our contractors listed. And I can go in there and see all the documents that they've signed for the company, all listed there. Or if they need a new one, we can send it over. And it's done all e-sign and it saves it. If you go to client mode, you set up each client, right? And then their contacts. And then instead of just an estimate, which Harvest does, which is nice, a quick and dirty, this is going to cost $2,500 to do whatever. This is like us, right? We're going to do a whole branding project, whole strategy, whole website, whatever. That requires an immense amount of detail. And so that's more of an estimate that you build out.
A proposal.
Proposal.
Yeah.
Perfect word for that. So Bonsai lets you build it out, send it with options.
Yes.
I like this. Let's leave that out.
Yeah. A little option A, option
Yep.
B. Yep.
And then you hit, okay, let's do that, accept. Then it kicks it back to us and says, okay, they've agreed to do one, item 1, 2, and 4. That's $25,000. Perfect. Now send them a contract to sign, right? So those two things are different. Proposal is scope of work, price. You accept it. Okay, now let's sign the legal stuff. And so Bonsai helps you write that out, and you can save them as templates. We just reuse them, right? Send it to the client. They sign it. Now we have a legal binding document between the two, right? And so anyways, it's worth a look. Hellobonsai.com. I know I said a lot in a little bit, but you can go through and kind of play around with it as well. Super powerful. And so we can go back years and look up any contract for any one of our clients. You know exactly what went into the project, who signed off on it, how much it costs, all those types of things. But we don't do invoicing in Bonsai. We do it in Harvest for the reasons I mentioned, which is we type time tracking and budgets against the projects we do. So we need Harvest to do that for us.
Yeah.
So hopefully that stack is not too complicated for you guys.
Yeah. One last thing.
Yeah.
Show us, look at all those icons on the bottom there. Are those all native apps?
I am not screen sharing my tray.
Oh, you're not. You're
No,
sharing. Okay.
it's cut off. But where are you going with that?
So tell us about native apps or web
you know
apps.
what? It'll
web
peek
apps.
in. It'll peek in if I do this.
Okay. So we have all these apps down here.
Yeah, look at this. Chrome, Slack, Figma,
Yep.
Shots Asana, Staccato, GitHub.
Look at Gusto.
Gusto.
See, and this is the thing, right?
Sightbox.
So we don't. we've sort of taken this turn where we now create apps for sites. So show us how to do that. Pick a.
Oh yeah.
Chrome
Yeah.
makes it super easy.
Yeah, let's try what's a site?
Do X. Do you have X on there? Oh, you already have it.
I already have it set up.
So if you go,
Wait, I don't want to use X because then they'll know my political leanings. No, actually, I'll do it this way.
you can just run one.
Yeah, I'll just run. Sightbox is a good example. You'll see it here in the tray with the favicon, right?
Yep.
With the icon set up.
Yeah,
And so if I launch it, it's going to launch what appears to be an app, but it's not an app. It's a web app
It's a web app.
run by Chrome.
Yes.
And it lets you run websites as apps.
Yeah, and you can use your Command Tab to flip through them.
Yeah.
That's how
Just
I
like
do.
that.
Yeah.
And so if you don't want to have Chrome just have a million tabs open, or you want to be kind of not distracted when you're in a specific app, you can do that. But yeah, it's super easy, like Google, let's say, right?
Yeah, make a Google app.
So sometimes Chrome is smart enough to know that you can create an app out of it. So you'll actually see it automatically right here where the star is.
Yeah,
You'll see a little icon that says download app or something like that. But if it's not there, you can click the three dots here. And you'll have to remind me, is it
It's under like
Save?
share.
is it
There
save
it is.
page as?
Install Pages app
There it is.
right below it.
Install page as app. Let me click that. So you'll see here you can name it anything you want, and then it's showing you the icon. So when I click install, you'll see here in your Finder too. Here's all my web apps,
Chrome apps. Yep.
Chrome apps, I mean. And so you can delete these at any time. So now anytime I want to use Google, I'll just search for Google. And it opens my Google app, right?
Yeah.
And you'll see the icon over here.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So at
Neat
this
little-
point, you
neat
never
little
need.
tip.
Yeah, you never need to run the native app.
Right. Because a lot of these apps are progressive web apps. So they run in the browser exactly the same way they run
Exactly the same way.
natively.
Right.
So you don't have to go to the Mac store, download the Mac version.
You have to
or
wait for that
Windows
anymore.
version.
No.
Just save it as an app
Yeah.
so that it's not in a Chrome tab. You can dock it if you want and then run it anytime. And you're good to go.
Yeah. All
How's
the
that?
processing's done in the cloud through
In the
Kubernetes.
cloud, Kubernetes.
Kubernetes. So anyway, good stuff.
Yeah.
Can definitely give your computer some
100%.
necessary breathing room.
Yeah, 100%.
So
Well, that's been fun. This was episode 2 of the Box Pod. I'm Charlie.
I'm Nathan.
And go check out our last episode if you want to learn about our AI stack for commercials. And I think we're going to do more AI minutes at the top of these.
Yeah, we got to. We got
There's
to go
always
talk to your
something
AI
happening.
after this.
Yeah. All right. Actually, I'm going to ask
her to do
how to give me an outro for this podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
Lead us out.
Hey, can you lead us out on this podcast? Give us an outro that we can use on the video or the audio here.
Of course. Here's a quick wraps up today's episode. Thanks for tuning in as we took you behind the scenes at our agency and broke down the tools and programs that power our work. If you found value in this conversation, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others who might benefit. And as always, stay curious, stay creative, and we'll catch you in the next one. How's that? You can tweak it to fit your style.
It's good. That's good.
Can't beat that. Later.
I'll take it.
Sightbox unbox, know we open the door. New podcast dropping like never before. Tapping AI, here we got the cure. Founders for founders, the vision is pure.